first of all, thank you so much for your role, for your performance, for everything you brought to the screen for this story. It's so critical that so many people saw this story. Are you surprised to the response that it's receiving since it's aired on Netflix?
It's huge. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but I didn't know it would take wings like this.
The performance was masterful. All of you from the young versions of from the young men, from the adult versions. What was it like to unplug from this very emotionally heavy role after filming for so long?
Well, first of all, I don't know that I've totally unplugged. But the first thing I said, being an actress is my due. But my who is to be of service in the world. And the first thing that I wanted to do as soon as I wrapped was find how can I serve. And I joined the Innocence Project right away to lend my platform, to help other people who have been wrongfully convicted. So that was immediate.
With being a call to service, how do you think that this film? We've seen what has happened in the aftermath since the series aired. What do you think how this can help people in their dealings with the legal system or just how they interact in society?
I think it's very telling of how much we don't know. And I hope that people educate themselves and their children on what to do when a situation like this arises, because it's not if, it's when. Because even though this particular story happened in 1989, it could be ripped from the headlines today. And we don't know what we don't know.
I've seen a lot of people just kind of paying attention to it online. Some people think this should be required watching for high school students for historical. Does that bring a kind of pressure or kind of pride? How do you feel hearing that if you haven't already?
I don't feel pressure. I feel like yay and amen. And I would love to accompany, that film in colleges and, and go out with it just to have a conversation with people about it because it is so necessary. And if you don't take away one thing from this film, I hope it's that you need to vote. Because this is how we are going to right all of these wrongs.
And lastly, for those who haven't seen it, what are 3 words? I know it's difficult, but what are 3 words you could use to describe it for people who haven't seen it already?
Heartbreaking. I would lead with heartbreaking, and then maybe another word I would use to describe it is resilience, because that's what you end up seeing toward the end of the film. And lastly, I would probably say necessary.
And one more last thing. I heard you say to the gentleman next to you that you don't want them to be called the Central Park Five. What did you say? I couldn't hear you. You said you had another term.
I said, well, the moniker, the Central Park Five, was given to them. The Wolf Pack, the Central Park Five. They didn't give that to themselves. So we lovingly call them the Exonerated Five because that's what they are.
Thank you so much, Niecy. I appreciate you. That was absolutely wonderful. Thank you, sister. You too.